He just doesn't want to take the risk when it comes to the highest office land in America, the President of the United States. Any chance that that person could get that position and do harm to America that he loves so dearly.
Armstrong Williams, Ben Carson's business manager and confidant, attempting to clarify comments made by the Republican presidential candidate yesterday. Dr. Carson taking a lot of criticism for saying he did not agree with the prospect of a Muslim president. Now, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is calling on Dr. Carson to withdraw from the campaign in light of his comments. For more, we welcome, via Skype from Phoenix, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Dr. Jasser is the founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. He's also the author of A Battle for the Soul of Islam, an American Muslim patriot's fight to save his faith. For purposes of full disclosure, we should also point out that Dr. Jasser is my personal physician and a good longtime friend. Zuhdi, you heard Armstrong Williams right there. Your reaction to what he had to say about Dr. Carson.
You know, JD, it's after 7 years of a president now who has been completely in action on the war of ideas, who has been an apologist for Islamists, I can understand why we're sort of missing the target here. And I think Armstrong also missed the target, as did Dr. Carson. And the target is Islamists, those who believe in the Islamic State, who believe in political Islam and Sharia law and government, which is a large plurality of Muslims globally, anywhere from 30 to 40%. They could never be a president or members of Congress or have security clearances. But Muslims who reject Islamism, Muslims who are reformers that believe in modernity and the separation of mosque and state, certainly can. And I think if we miss that target and the doctor doesn't thread the needle, you know, he should go back and read Dr. Benjamin Rush and how he helped Thomas Paine write The Common Sense about why the worst of all tyrannies is religion. And just as the West went through that Reformation, separation of church and state, so too can Islam and Muslims. And I think if we're going to engage Muslims like myself to make comments that all Muslims could never be president, sort of surrenders in the war of ideas globally.
Well, I know, Dr. Jasser, you are no fan of CAIR, yet that organization held a press conference earlier today slamming Dr. Carson's comments over the weekend. Let's listen, and then we'll get a reaction.
Mr. Ben Carson is wrong today to assume and say that American Muslim cannot be president of the United States. His views are inconsistent with the United States Constitution. And we ask Mr. Ben Carson to withdraw from the presidential race because he's unfit to lead.
Your reaction, Zuhdi?
That's nonsense. They are unfit to lead our faith community, and they have been a liability, soaking up the bandwidth of attention based on victimization and having our president do hashtags for a privileged Texas teen instead of hashtags for Muslims who are truly reformers and are real heroes in Saudi Arabia, Iran, and elsewhere. But that's why they are a liability. Now, certainly I have my disagreement with Dr. Carson on this, but I think, you know, hopefully he'll, in the future, amend and revise his remarks and begin to come to terms with which Muslims are patriots that are with us leading this battle and which Muslims are problematic. And CAIR is one of those problematic organizations that has many foreign interests, and I would never want a member of CAIR to be my member of Congress or ever run for president. So I wouldn't listen to them as far as what they recommend, though on this case I may agree with them on my disagreement with Dr. Carson's remarks, but he certainly doesn't need to step out of the race.
Zuhdi, in the 2.5 minutes that remain, we would be remiss if we did not revisit some of the controversy involving Donald Trump. You'll recall last week at a New Hampshire town hall, he was asked a question about Muslims, specifically about training camps. Some people said the questioner was singling out all Muslims and that Donald Trump should have stopped him and corrected him. Is Donald Trump obligated to correct a questioner?
Well, I think when you're running for a president of the United States, all we have to judge these candidates on is the precision of their comments and how they stand up for the values that are American. And I was disappointed that he didn't take it as an opportunity, number one, as many he has missed, in identifying that political Islam is the problem and reform is the solution, identifying that we have a security risk. I mean, he could have acknowledged that, yes, our camps, Homeland Security should be empowered not to be apologist and hamstrung by sort of civil rights concerns that we should recognize but yet make our country safe. And yet he just sort of avoided it and went on to the next thing and didn't take it as a teaching opportunity, because the presidential campaign is a teaching opportunity for the American public. And I was a bit disappointed that he didn't lay it out as far as what his strategy would be domestically and globally against political Islam.
Dr. Zuhdi Jasser from Phoenix. Sir, you have our thanks. You heard what Zuhdi had to say on these topics. We'd like to hear from you. Here's where you can send us what you think. Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. We're back with more right after this.